Chase Lee Hockey here with the Blue Futon, and what do you think I'm watching? Well, you know what? You already know what I've watched because I put it in the title. I was thinking, oh, maybe Kung Fu Panda, maybe Sabrini or Cabrini, but Cabrini's not playing here. But Imaginative was actually Arthur the King was, but I didn't have the chance. I was working too late, so Imaginative it is. So what's about? Pretty simple premise. We have a girl that has an imaginary teddy bear, but what is it? Is it really imaginative or not? Okay, I won't lie. I went into this movie theater positive with the trailer. The trailer had me intrigued. I was like, okay, PG-13 horror movies, I know what I think about them. However, this kind of gave me it feels like something different. I was excited. So when I went in, I was excited. When I left the movie theater, I really was not that excited. Here's the thing. Let's think about this real quick though, right? We do have a movie, John Krasinski's If. Imaginary Friends. That's a kids movie. This is not the kids movie. This is the PG-13 horror movie. We'll get to the horror elements of that. What I already noticed with the John Krasinski one, there's a bunch of imaginary friends, right? This movie, you don't get that. Yes, Imaginary Friends, the John Krasinski one, probably has a lot of CGI. This one, they went the more practical effects. And yes, I will give it props for having a practical effect movie because every time there's a practical effect movie, I will give it a shock of bra because I do think it is really good to keep going that route and going less CG. All right, the horror aspect. There was no horror, unfortunately. Yeah, there's a couple interesting, creepy scenes here, creepy scenes there. Who's behind that wall? Who's behind that dresser? But you really don't get the overall, oh shit moments you're expecting. So coming to the acting, I think the little girl does a fine job. The teenagers, whatever. The adults, whatever. Like I said, the acting is fine whatsoever. I think it's a $12 million budget movie. It's going to make about $10 million the first weekend, so that's kind of a win-win for Blumhouse, for sure, even after Five Nights at Freddy's. They really did good on that one. But when going about this movie, okay, it's just, I know I've already probably said it, I just wish it had more imaginative factors. It was more imaginary than the title really said. Because my God, this could have been a straight up cabin in the woods, is bonkers PG-13 fest. Because there's a scene when they're in this world where all the doors open and you're like, oh shit, we're about to go fucking ham. And the ham never happens. Yes, so you could say there's a decent twist in the middle of the movie where you're like, okay, I kind of did not see that coming. I was like, okay, are we going to go somewhere different? Unfortunately, it doesn't really go that route. The ending, you could say, oh, it's one of those Lord of the Rings ones where you're like, oh, is that the ending? Is that the ending? Is that the ending? And you're like, I don't know what it is. But it did get me on some levels, and it did end on a Goofy-esque level, which at a point you're like, fine. But then you really think, like, how can this teddy bear keep going from person to person to person? Is it more connected to a teddy bear? Is it more connected to this house? And you really don't get it. I think it's connected to a teddy bear. But at a point, why is it always a teddy bear? Because there's also a spider. And those are the really only two monsters you get in this imaginary friends. And I'm like, where's the imaginativeness of it if there's really only two imaginary friends? So I really didn't like that at all. Like I said, I like the practical effects, but the overall PG-13ness of it really hindered it because I wanted some balls to the wall killings. There is one in the trailer you're thinking it's going to happen, but it doesn't. And that really disappointed me because, like I said, I've seen PG-13 horror movies. We kill multiple people. If you have these type of monsters, you gotta do it. So anyway, overall, imaginative, whatever it's called, PG-13 horror movie to the mass to the max. Holy cow, it's late here. Anyway, if you like practical effects, this is a plus. If you don't like being scared, that's a plus. If you like PG-13 horror movies, that's a plus. But if you're looking for a movie that is PG-13, that's a real horror and real oh shit moments, unfortunately, this one really doesn't fit the bill. So, Imaginative will receive a 2 out of 5 futons, which equals at 40%. I think the critics right now are at a 31%, I think, but I'm not mistaken. But yes, when I get home, my fingers crossed to watch Doom Part 2 in 4DX, try to get that in there, try to get Kung Fu Panda 4 in 3D, as well as get Cabrini, Arthur the King, as well as the Magical Society of American Negroes or something. So I think I got to get all that before my next trip, which the month of March is just, it's gone. Anyway, did you like this movie? Chase Lee Hockey here at the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. One more thing is Bhutontopia. You Bhutoners think watch them a great day. Don't care watch this day tomorrow, week from now, month from now, year from now, every single freaking one of you. Enjoy life. And do you have an imaginary friend? I never did. Boop, 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 doop.